A couple months ago, I was browsing on TikTok and I came across a video of ultra successful streamer XQC reacting to a music video by underground experimental artist Cemetery. Now, this video is pretty hilarious, mostly due to XQC's almost instantaneous shock and hatred of this Cemetery song.
Bro, what?
Yeah, this is real shit.
Bro! Jesus Christ, bro!
Within seconds, XQC is shocked. What is this? Is the first thing out of his mouth. He looked absolutely disgusted. And as a fan of Cemetery, I decided to leave a mostly joking comment on that video asking the question, why do people hate art? Like I said, this video was mostly a joke, but over the last couple months, that comment sometimes gets a couple of likes, and that question is brought back to the forefront of my mind. Why do people hate art? It's a bold statement, especially when one of the things that brings, a lot of us together is the media that we consume. Whether it's TV shows, huge movie franchises, new breakout singles, our favorite pieces of clothing, people definitely enjoy art. But do they like art? Over the last year, as I've had more experiences in the music scene, the music industry, encountering all different art forms and going deeper and deeper down every rabbit hole that I can, I've had more run-ins with this question. Why do people hate art? Or at least, why don't they understand it? Or perhaps a better question is, why do they refuse to understand it? Let me clarify this by bringing Kanye into the mix. Just about a week ago, before this whole new White Lives Matter fiasco, which I will not be jumping into, Kanye West opened a fashion show for the first time, walking for BALENCIAGA Spring/Summer 2023 in Paris. This show was highly controversial, mostly due to the, in my opinion, incredible set design from BALENCIAGA, featuring a massive mud pit that the models made their walks through. Kanye was featured wearing a massive, oversized security vest that had him looking kind of like a Roblox character. And seeing that this was Kanye West, a mainstream musician, this show was featured on many outlets that it may not have been featured on regularly. That is to say, featured on pages that wouldn't normally cover an haute couture show at Paris Fashion Week. And every time I saw West's walk featured on one of these mainstream accounts, the comments were filled with questions criticizing the look or the mudslide, asking why fashion shows always have to look like that or why they have to be so weird. And at first I was like, yeah, this happens every time. Every time a musician or famous person is featured in a, weird high fashion show, there are tons of comments of people saying they don't get it, whatever. But the more I thought about it, I realized I had felt that way at one point when I was 14 years old. And then I decided, why don't I look it up? Why don't I find out why these fashion shows are so weird and they're nothing like the H&M shirts that I was buying at the time? As I looked through these comment sections, I realized they're not full of 14-year-olds. They're full of people my age or older. People who have had more life experience than me, but for some reason don't want to investigate why art is the way that it is. Now, I'm not saying that XQC needs to enjoy Cemetery or your mother has to like BALENCIAGA. But I do think that this refusal to understand art that's out of our comfort zone represents a problem for us as a society. And I think that this problem is more widespread than you might think. Of course, your mother might not understand Cemetery, but why don't Playboi Carti fans understand Playboi Carti? There are many ways in which we disrespect the art that we claim to love so much, and I want to talk about that today with a few examples. As I'm sure many of you remember, on Christmas of 2020, Playboi Carti infamously dropped his album, Whole Lotta Red. This album was met with extremely divisive reactions from fans, many saying that it was terrible, that they were shocked by the direction that Carti had gone. And I think this was the first moment that this question kind of jumped into my head. Because for months, Playboi Carti had been posting pictures of him cosplaying as a vampire. The teaser for the album sounded like this. And I just couldn't understand how fans of Playboi Carti that followed him would think that the guy that looked like this was gonna drop music that sounded like this.
In New York, I mainly rock. riding in my socks.
Now, Cardi is extremely lucky, as over the past 2 years, through his incredible live performances and support from other artists like Kanye West himself, he's been able to turn this around and turn into sort of a cult hero for pushing boundaries in the mainstream. But many artists are not so lucky. And as crazy as this might sound, I think that Cardi actually relates to Cemetery in this instance. What people were so shocked by wasn't necessarily, you know, the lyrics or the content of the art in that way, right? But the sound, the aesthetic of it was just repulsive to people, which was incredible because it was so clear, so well presented and obvious. Cardi basically was priming us for years to be ready for an album with these influences and these sounds. And this album came out years after Kanye West's Yeezus. These sounds aren't even experimental anymore. And still, he was met with vitriolic hatred from his own fans. This is when I really started to consider this problem in my mind. If you're new to this channel, I do a lot of videos relating to the experimental hip hop and pop group Drain Gang, featuring artists Blade, Echo 2K, Tyboy Digital, White Armor, and also their contemporaries like Young Lean. Now, doing this has been a fascinating project because they were, for a while, extremely niche artists. People consuming this art, like Cemetery fans, were expecting this type of weird, outsider, experimental take on these genres of music. But every once in a while, art made for a specific group breaks out.
Whatever.
Welcome from Miss Rose.
Last summer, one of Young Lean's biggest songs, Ginseng Strip, became a huge TikTok trend. And this led many of his fans to have a discussion over the importance of gatekeeping, as many people that were not aware of Young Lean's influence, his history, were coming into the comments of this song and attacking it for being bad, whatever. But I think what's most interesting about the Young Lean situation is the way that his own fans treat them. I have been shocked by the way that Drain Gang and Sad Boys fans treat their favorite artists. You may be wondering who this handsome fellow behind me has been this whole time, and this is Barry Dillon. He went viral a few years ago for a video that walked up to him, asked him if he was Young Lean, to which he replied, "I'm Barry Dillon."
No, I'm Barry Dillon.
And ever since that video, under every Young Lean music video and Instagram post, you'll find comments saying, "Oh, it's Barry Dillon. Look, it's Barry Dillon. Oh my God, is that Barry Dillon?" From Young Lean's own fans. Now, I just want you to consider being in Young Lean's shoes. You've taken a trip to a mental hospital to deal with serious PTSD, psychosis, and other mental health issues. You've released music about feeling like you were gang stalked, hallucinating terrifying images, and making it out and finding a better life for yourself. You put out this music and the comments are joking about a viral video about a random guy 3 years after it's happened. And you just have to wonder, are these people even fans? Do you understand what you're hearing? A similar thing happened with Kanye West's Donda. That album, which is named for his deceased mother, features an intro where her name is chanted for 50 seconds before the album begins. Upon its release, this beautiful tribute was clowned by hundreds of thousands of people on TikTok, calling the song trash, asking why it was included because it's not even a song.
Donda, 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 Donda.
Oh yeah, this a hit right here, my boy.
Woo!
What is going on?
The album is named for his dead mom. Her name is repeated over and over on this track like a heartbeat, and people were calling it trash. Fans were calling it trash. And it just felt like, what conclusion am I even supposed to come to? You people hate art. If you didn't, you would be curious or sympathetic to the vision of the creator. But you're not. Your first instinct is to make a TikTok making fun of it, or like the comments that are making fun of it, or get in on the circus of destroying someone's creation. And again, yes, you don't have to like everything, because some stuff sucks. But I think that you don't even like art. You like t-shirts, and you like going to concerts with people, and you like feeling in on it. And, you know, that's fine. That's a part of the culture. But I think that these people literally just hate art, because if they didn't, they would care a lot more about the way they treat creators, treat artists, and treat the work that they put out, like more than just a product for them to throw away. Like it didn't take 10 months or many years for these products to come about. If you don't like it, why is it that way? Why is he repeating his mom's name? It just seems to me that fans, consumers, for some reason, aren't able to fully grasp that the products they make are tied to a human being that creates them. I wonder if this has anything to do with the separating the art from the artist conversation. I've always thought that that is basically a useless project, as the art is made by a human being, and you need to understand that. This continues to happen and will continue to happen, and I understand that. But I think that it's harmful for fans of art to not think critically or with a curious eye. When something surprises you or is strange, why wouldn't you want to figure out why it's like that? Dismissing it as garbage or strange as if it was made for you is baffling. I think it's strange that when someone finally comes along and presents us with a very clear artistic vision, we expect that that artistic vision is for us, that we specifically are supposed to like Whole Lotta Red because we liked another Playboi Carti song, that he should go back to his old style because I liked it more than his new ventures. I think that that's extremely harmful and it discourages good art. When we want all art to work for all people, we don't even want art. And again, my point is not that every single person needs to be a cemetery, drain gang, experimental art enjoyer. But I do think that the more we tout the fact that art like this is pretentious or unnecessary, we contribute to dangerous anti-intellectualism that makes us less excited about the world, less interested to explore its problems, and more susceptible to bad ideas that simplify the world and make it a place that's more comfortable rather than more interesting. We should be excited about specializing, excited about exploring these types of ideas, or at least excited about understanding. Regardless of if you like the art or not, the tendency to simply decide to not understand is risky, and I think it's something that we need to address. I don't know how to make people more curious. I don't know how to make them more understanding. I don't want everyone to be a fan of everything because I think that's the problem. But I want to know what you guys think. This has been gnawing at me for a while and I just kind of wanted to get a video with my opinion out there. I know this is a little bit different and I'm sorry I can't provide a solution, but I'm curious if you guys notice the same thing, specifically in certain fandoms that you're a part of. What happens when an artist strays from the norm, or why won't people work to understand what their vision is? Thanks for watching and let me know what you think in the comments below. My name is Matt, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.